I am joined today with my friend Edna Maye, Loveless, and she has not seen the new building up close before. And it was my hope that we got to give her a little private tour before we did the public tour. So I am excited that she was available and willing to join us. And so we're going to see the William Loveless Fellowship Hall for the first time. And we're going to walk through an active construction site, but I'm going to hang on tight. Are you ready?
Okay, let's go.
Let's go. So this started in March of 2018. And so by the time we're done, it's going to be pretty close to 2 years.
Okay.
So we're going to go in now to the William Loveless Fellowship Hall.
Well, this is awesome. Yeah. I like the arched windows. Yeah.
The arched windows look out on Campus Street.
Yeah.
And so if you're driving on Campus Street, you're able to look inside and see the festivities or the dinner that's going on at that time. This facility is supposed to hold 600 seated guests.
Well, we've needed that. This is a church that's grown and needs accommodations like this.
We
This
do.
is going to be so nice.
Isn't it something?
Yeah.
We had a facility before that held 200. This will change everything. Now, I've asked a friend of ours to join us during this time.
Hello, Marvin.
How are you? Good to see you.
And I wanted,
This is something, isn't it?
Well, it is awesome. It really is. It's going to be such a treat to have room
Yes.
to ask anybody you want to join us.
that's for sure.
We've been so
groups.
we've been crowded.
Marvin was here when William Loveless and you came to be our senior pastor. Do you remember what year that was, Marvin?
Well, I wasn't quite here at that time, but in the early 70s, 1970,
Is that right?
Bill and Edna Maye came, and it wasn't long after Bill had come that he recognized that the social dynamic and dimension to the church was lacking quite a bit. So he went about developing ministries that brought people together in community and fellowship and friendship, it was out of that the fellowship dinners developed.
Okay.
Because Bill was a real believer in the spiritual gift of hospitality and bringing people together, having fun together, eating together, and Bill, of course, loved good food, and so it all kind of came together in the development of the fellowship dinner teams.
The teams, now, do you remember that?
Oh yes, oh yes.
What was the rationale behind that necessarily?
Well, I think the rationale was if nothing is happening between the members, between worship services, it's a pretty slim operation. We need to be doing something
That's right.
with each other, getting acquainted with each other. We also had pew parties, just getting together with people that we sat in the pew with. I had a pew party at my house last month. It was pretty sad because there were people in 3 different rooms. There wasn't room for us even they didn't even know each other's names when they left,
Wow.
Unless they were in the same room.
Right.
Yeah.
We need space to
We
do
need-
that.
Precisely, and we can use this space so efficiently, I think, to warm ourselves up.
Well, I love your vision. What was the name of those teams? Do you remember the teams that he started? He started a ministry and it had a name. What was the name of that? Do you remember?
Yeah, sometimes it was called hospitality dinner teams, but it was
Oh,
fellowship.
yeah.
Most people called it fellowship dinner teams.
How did you see it play out, Marvin?
Well, in the beginning, they organized 12 teams. And
Was that significant? 12
well,
teams?
yeah, because the idea was that each team would serve once a quarter,
Oh, yeah.
about 4 times a year, so that there would be somebody there every Sabbath. And initially, the goal was that fellowship dinner teams would provide a welcoming atmosphere to our out-of-town guests who are visiting on Sabbath.
So anybody who showed up
Yeah,
could stop in and have dinner.
right. So to provide a wonderful meal for our guests, our out-of-town guests. And the second purpose was to bring our church members together, working together toward a common goal, and working in community and fellowship, getting to know each other and having a good time together. And so these teams functioned every Sabbath.
Wow.
And from the early 70s all the way up till the day that we
closed the other one down?
That we dismantled the old fellowship hall in favor of building a new facility like this.
Right.
And
How long did some of those teams operate?
well, for many years, some of them, the leadership changed in some of them from time to time, but the teams stayed together. Some of them stayed together for years on end and got to be good friends with the people in their teams. And
Right.
it was really quite a community building activity in the church, and it was loved by everybody.
Wow. Edna Maye, this room, this fellowship hall, is going to be called the William Loveless Fellowship Hall. How does that make you feel?
Well, it warms my heart. I'm glad people remember Bill and the way he loved this congregation and the things he did for it.
And people can still give to that project, can't they?
Yes, put Fellowship Hall on the tithe envelope.
That's right. And
well,
it'll go to the right place.
It'll go to the right place.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
I believe that the legacy of William Loveless will live on in this space because I anticipate that our hospitality or fellowship dinner team ministry will continue.
And I'm just thinking of a few weeks ago, I ran into some people that were looking for the front door. They'd never been to this church. They were coming here because their grandchild had been saved by an Adventist doctor that was a member of this church. We wanted to see our doctor's church.
Wow.
So I showed them in. It was Communion Sabbath. They wept during the feet washing. It was a blessed experience, and I wanted to invite them to a hospitality dinner. All I had at home was a pizza, a one-person pizza, so I couldn't invite them home. And I needed the hospitality dinner for them.
This will provide that space.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of folks ask, will there be accommodations for older folks or seniors or even those who might be in a wheelchair? And we do. Everything in this building is up to date for ADA compliant. And you asked about the elevator, and you can see it right behind you. That is our new elevator. I know that doesn't seem like a big deal, but
it is. Just
It is.
somebody that's unsteady.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I want to thank both of you for joining me here today.
It warms my heart.
Yes.
Yeah.
Another thing that excites me about this new facility is that the church now can have banquets, Valentine's parties. This facility will enable the church to have functions outside of Sabbath that will be very significant to the life of the church.
Do you know that they're already taking reservations? So that's going to be a big challenge to keep up with all the needs. But that's what a church is supposed to be there for, to serve these purposes. So thanks again for joining us. I really appreciate it.
And I say thank you to anybody who wants to contribute to this. It's going to be a positive thing for our church.
Amen to that.